this is the remains of the salvaged raspberry wheat beer. Well, it's kind of like a Hefeweizen, but in a keg that ended up in the Kieser, if you remember, which was not the nicest discovery. Anyway, I've been feeding it to the tomatoes, but I haven't fed the tomatoes for about 3 or 4 days, and we have a spontaneous, look at this, a spontaneous fermentation going on. And yes, well, do you know what? Yes, it's a bit mouldy and a bit bacteria, but that is how your lambics were made, or are made. So this is like a mini coal ship. I'm not going to drink it, I'm going to feed it to the tomatoes. We've been promised by as weather person some half decent weather for the next couple of days, so I thought it's time. I need to get these planters onto the gates over there. So I'm going to get a quick sand down. Sorry, Marley, did I just step on you? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh dear, lay down. It's all right. I won't do it again. I promise. Good boy. Oh yes. Be getting people calling the RSPCA next. Right, darling. Yeah. Sandpaper it. Now what I've done is I've screwed just to make sure the bottom piece is on. I think what I'm going to do is bung some screws in the sides as well, and perhaps in the middle as well, just because I can, and make it a little bit kind of stronger. So let's get those in, and then I'm going to hit it with a blowtorch. Just thought I'd do a quick showing the difference a little bit of charring makes. Now this particular piece, a bit pretentious, makes it sound like it's art. This particular box, I am going to use a wood preservative on it rather than a varnish or a lacquer. Look down there at our little snail trail, how that shines up. So beautiful in the sunlight. I hope you find something nice to nibble on that doesn't ruin my garden. You'd have your work cut out getting up there, but you never know. But I've got this philosophy of not killing anything, with the exception of, never mind. right, let's not get political. Yeah, so just a quick sand down and then throw the blowtorch over it, and that's what you get. I really should have got the bigger blowtorch out, which goes on a gas bottle, but I just couldn't be bothered. That's the sort of lazy mood I'm in, because it's Friday. I don't know what time I'll be putting this video up, but I'm making it on Friday. Right, next, so I'll do a quick contrast of the before and after. Now, that's not something you see every day. There's something on fire down here. seems to have cleared. Just as an aside, that's our commercial oven that took a hit with the power stuff. So had a quick neb on, you know, cheap book face things marketplace. My only criteria really for an oven in here, because we've got full cooking facilities elsewhere obviously, but we do tend to spend most of our time in here in the boathouse. So we've got this oven, just, you know, but the only real criteria is that I can get a 3-litre flask in there to sterilise, because I'm making a yeast starter for a brew on, well, I've already got the starter going upstairs, but I'm going to give it another couple of days for a brew on Sunday, and that's going to be the Y Yeast 1010, which is going to be for the raspberry Hefeweizen. What? Looks a bit of a strange colour, but it's alright when it dries. It goes a lot sort of clearer, because I was worried. I quite like the idea of keeping the look of the knots, which is why I hit it with a blowtorch, but as this dries it goes more transparent. Now the question was obviously going to be, how do I line those so that they don't, well, you know, the ground, whatever you call it, compost, soil, that's it, soil, doesn't fall out of the holes. So I thought about black bags, bin liners, but they're really thin, they're not right strong. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute, have I got any of these bags of malt? That there's some more in there and whatever, but none of them are anywhere near empty. So went to see a friend in a brewery. In fact, I've seen 2 breweries today, and I got some empty grain bags, which I think, oops, will almost perfectly fit in there. Might have to cut the tops down a little bit. So I've got 12 of those. Don't need 12, but I'll probably be making some others into planters. So yeah, these are from Triple Point, by the way. Thanks guys at Triple Point, Sean, etc. Actually, what was in here? Maris Otter. You see, they get theirs on a pallet. I get mine delivered usually in a box with a complaining courier. Right, so that's the backs of those done. Flip them over, slosh this stuff on to the side, let it dry, get it on gates. I better take the old things off gates first, obviously, and find a way of disposing of that. Right, back soon. You wouldn't believe it, she's actually in a Zoom meeting as well, clearing out the old planters. Right, so these are now drying nicely and almost ready to go up. I was a bit, I don't know, ambivalent about the colour. It seemed a little bit sort of like orangey, sort of whatevery, but I don't know, I don't mind it now. It's yeah, it hasn't completely obscured all the grain. That's good. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Right. So get those up in a minute. Getting ready for a brew tomorrow. So this is the bit where I clean everything out, and then I fill the HLT from the reverse osmosis, work out what water profile I'm going to use. Probably a high calcium to sulfate ratio, because I'm thinking of doing a New England IPA. I can't remember what New England IPA. Apparently, according to my notes, Brew-1, BRU-1, which is a Yakima Valley They're also doing this interesting thing at the moment. Anyway, I'll come back to that another time, because that's going to start talking about hops. As I said, today I've had the pleasure of visiting 2 breweries. By the way, these are the sight glasses that I've been waiting for months, 3 months to be precise, on the slow boat from China. So I don't know if you've watched previous videos where I've said how I want to look at the filtration. But the other brewery I went to today, first off I went to have a little look around Triple Point, which is one of my favourite local breweries. Big, very, very nice. Like, look at this. That's all I'm going to show you. It's a view that most people will never get. And then I went down to see Dan and Martha, and 2 really wonderful things happened. One, they mentioned me on this really special collaboration beer. I don't know if I think I've mentioned before that Will Myers from Cambridge Brewing Company over in Massachusetts came over and did a collaboration with them, and they've mentioned me on the label. How lovely is that? And then Martha gave me loads of beers. This is one of them. And now this is interesting. I don't think I've ever had a beer with, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. I know people who will. But it's one of their, I mean, they're such a wonderful, amazing experimental brewery, and this is one of their amazing experimental brews. So I'm going to crack that open. Obviously into a smod glass. Right. I love their labels. Let's see what we think of this. Yeah. That was a very, very unusual brew. I did say they specialise in these unusual experiments. Crumbs. That is clean as a whistle on the palate. Quite dry, ever so slightly sour. It isn't a sour, but it's ever so slightly sour. I'm going to have a few more of these. Let me tell you now, if you can get your hands on this, do it. That is the most stunning summer brew. I mean, there are some really good golden ales, and then there's this. That is bonkers. And what I'm going to have to do now is find out. See, this is taking it to another level. I don't know whether I'm up for even having a go at attempting that. But if you can get this. Back to the bit that brewers like best. Looking at the brew pornography. This is where I filled it HLT up. I bring it up to about 70 degrees. Everything is already clean. This is my refreshingly. What are you doing? You had enough? Oh, all right. When your dog abandons you, you've got to start asking questions. Well, anyway, so this is where I will now transfer from the HLT, go through these 2 pumps. This cleans the pumps out, even though they're clean, yeah. And then into the whirlpool, in the boiler. Then I'm going to bring the boiler up to the boil. That cleans the boiler out as well. And I know I don't need to do it, I just do, because I'm one of those paranoid twats who always has to have total aseptic practice ticking boxes and stuff, especially at the moment. Cause things is a bit weird, aren't they, guys? Yes. Tomorrow. Yes. I've done that. I've told you what we're brewing tomorrow. Right, next tonight. Oh, if you haven't already lost the will to live, boys and girls, after the mess that Charlotte's made here. Actually, she's done a wonderful job. I'm going to unbolt these. Boom. Boom. Lift these gently down into the canal. No, I'm not. I'll put them over here. I could probably salvage some of this, surely. Yeah. Sorry, I won't call you Shirley again. And then get the new ones up. And then I'm going to put some of that Nessing stuff up again. Get off. And then think of some stuff to plant. Right. Back soon. Et voila, as Del Boy would say. Bonjour, job. Taller than the other ones by a fair bit, which means I suppose we could get stuff with longer root structure. I don't know quite, you could write on a Rizzler what I know about growing stuff that you can't smoke. So I'm guessing that some stuff likes long roots, so that might work well. I'm going to get some of that Nessing to go up here tomorrow. I might put some peas in because I don't know whether I could transplant these. I did plant some peas in here. I'm wondering whether I could, hopefully someone who knows about this stuff can let me know whether I could, because what I was going to do was put some netting up the back. If I could transplant those peas over there, that would be really good. So a good day's work, chuffed as I, with a couple of, well, this was just one pallet from Triple Point, and I've got others here. I've got loads more. Lots of projects. Now, I did mention that I went to St Mars of the Desert, and this was one of the other loads of wonderfulness. So I've got 3 of these, 3 of the Casbah. Oh, so just says old school. Let's get it in the glass, shall we? Now, immediately on the nose, this screams heady topper. I don't know whether Dan will think that's good or bad. I can see where old school quality comes in. Let's have a slurp. I've not made any secret recently about really liking Triple Point's New England style IPAs, and I will continue to, because they are fantastic. And Triple Point are another one of those experimental type breweries that I think are worth following. But this is bonkersly outstanding. This is say heady topper. If you don't know heady topper, it's got all of those qualities of a New England IPA that you want to tick off the box as you go along. I'm not really that cultured, But this, for me, is the type of IPA that I could drink from dawn till dusk and not get sick of it. It is beautiful. It's got such a nice rounded, ice maker. Pack it in. Such a nice rounded, beautiful mouthfeel. It's got a lovely series of aromas. The kind of, I don't like using all of those terms, like Caribbean juice, and it's like Jilly Corden used to do. But that, for me, I'm not even going to bother trying to describe it, apart from saying, God, that's beautiful. Now, you'll probably be able to find this on their website. I don't know, because this one says you've got to keep it cold at all times. I suppose otherwise all those microbes start ganging up and might get at you. But you'll probably be able to buy this off their website. Superb. So a good day, all in all. 2 breweries. Made me planters. I'm sure I've done. Oh yeah. A couple of Zoom meetings that I don't know where that's going. I don't know why I'm on these meetings. I don't know why people listen to what I'm saying. I think they probably just like looking at the purple hair and earrings. Anyway, whatever you're doing, have a good weekend. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I'm going to do a brew tomorrow. I'll chuck a video up about that. I'm going to do another brew on Sunday. That's going to be another raspberry Hefeweizen, or raspberry wheat beer, because it will go in a keg, so it's not really classed as a Hefeweizen, I suppose. If you enjoy this rubbish, please feel free to subscribe to my little channel. It'd be lovely to have you. And even if you just watch this rubbish as an alternative to Homes Under the Attic, or, cash in the auction room stuff, then, yeah, I'm an expert on daytime TV, as me. So it'd be lovely to have you. If you click the thumbs up also, that makes me feel ever so warm and moist inside. And it also tells YouTube that it's not a crap video and it might be worth recommending to others. So there we go. Have a good weekend, boys and girls. I shall be back soon after drinking some more of this smoddy gloriousness.